Hi, I'm Miss Hearn. Let's get started. If an alien dropped down from outer space and you had to explain to them what a circle is, there's actually something that every point in a circle has in common. Same distance from what? The center. Good. So that's how we formally define a circle. It's a set of all points equidistant from the center. In this example, we're asked to draw a circle with a center at the point 2, 1 and a radius of 3. 2, 1, that's not actually part of the circle. It's just the center, the reference point. So I like to make a little X on that point and label the coordinates. And then we have a radius of 3. If we go out to the side somewhere, I'm not really sure what the coordinates are. But if we go straight up from 2, 1, 3 units, what pair of coordinates would that be? 2, 4, good. Notice that the y coordinates change when we go what I call to the north of the center. We add 3 to the y coordinates, so we get 2, 4. How about if we went to the south, 3 units? The 2 stays the same because we're only changing the y, and it goes down to what? -2, good, because we're actually subtracting 3 from the y coordinate. So we're going to be down at 2, -2. How about out to the west of this point, to the left, 3 units? What would that be? Notice she said -1, 1. The y coordinate didn't change, did it? Because we're moving left and right, not up and down. So the y coordinate stays exactly the same, and the x coordinate, we subtract 3 from it, we get -1. How about the east over here? 5 and 1, good. You added 3 to the x coordinate, the y coordinate stayed the same. When I ask you to graph a circle on the test, I want to see these 4 points labeled, and then do your best to fill in a good circle. This is always the hard part here. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. And these are the points that I'm going to look for being labeled. Now, we're going to be going back and forth today between the graph of the circle and its equation. So let's make some observations about any random point. Remember I said it's not so easy to know the coordinates of any random point on the circle. We can identify the ones that are north, south, east, and west, but the other ones are a little harder. So what can we say about a random point on the circle? Well, remember, we know the distance between this point xy and the center is what? What's the distance between xy and 2, 1? 3, good. So if we have a point x1, y1 and a point x2, y2, and we want the distance between them, d equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So in our scenario here, what we have, so we have some random point xy, that's going to be our x2, y2. And we have our center 2, 1. We're going to plug those in, but we're going to need something else. We also know d, don't we? What's the distance again? 3. So what I'm going to say is I know that 3 will always be equal to the square root of, instead of x2, I'm going to put x minus, instead of x1, I'm going to put 2 squared plus, what would we have here? Y minus 1. Good. So remember, y2 is y and y1 is 1. So y minus 1 squared. Okay, so we know that this is always true no matter what xy I pick on the circle. In other words, what I just did is I wrote an equation for that circle. Any pair of coordinates xy that satisfies this equation is on the circle. Now, we don't like leaving a square root in the equation of a circle, and we usually switch the left and right side. So the way you'll see the equation written is x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 3 squared, or 9. This is an example of a circle written in standard form. This is the standard form of a circle. It's also called the center radius form. And why do you think it's called the center radius form? Because I see the radius is 3, it's right there, right? Where do you see the center? The 2 and the 1 are still in there. So if a circle is written in center radius form, you can actually just look at the equation and already know how to graph it, because you can identify the center and the radius. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please remember to like it.